15 surprising facts about Germany, Europe's most unusual country. Number 15. A country called the Heart of Europe, located in the very center of the continent. Germany borders 9 countries. This is a rare geographical phenomenon that no state in the United States of America matches, although its area is comparable to Montana. The landscapes here are strikingly diverse, the majestic Alps in the south, and 2 seas, the North and Baltic in the north. Germany enjoys a temperate climate. In summer, there is a cool breeze and it is light until 10 in the evening, ideal for evening walks and late-night adventures. In winter, the temperature drops to -10 degrees Celsius, or 14 degrees Fahrenheit, and the sun sets as early as 4 in the afternoon, creating snowy landscapes straight out of a fairy tale. Autumn paints the country in bright reds and golds, especially in Bavaria and the Black Forest, delighting locals and tourists alike. With a population of about 84 million, Germany is the most populous country in the European Union, but almost 1 in 4 residents is over 65, reflecting a rapidly aging society. Despite the low birth rate, Germany surprisingly leads Europe in the number of twin births, a little known but very interesting fact. The country is also a cultural mix. Millions of immigrants from Turkey, Poland, Syria, and other countries live here. This diversity enriches everyday life, from cuisine to festivals. The German language, the official language, is famous for its complex compound words. Each region speaks its own dialect, but in major cities, English is widely understood. Today, German is the 3rd most popular language to learn in the world, which speaks to its global influence. Number 14. German women care more about how you treat them than where you come from. In Germany, your nationality matters much less than your behavior. German women value equality in relationships and do not want to be seen as housewives or dependent on a man. If you are respectful, open, and willing to share responsibilities equally, you are already on the right track. Forget about cinematic charm. Flowers and compliments don't cut it here. Sincerity is much more important. A warm conversation or a dinner cooked at home means much more than expensive gifts or poetic speeches. For German women, genuine care and the ability to listen are the foundation of a real connection. They especially value personal freedom. This means that jealousy and control are stop signals. If you want a serious relationship, you need to respect her independence, whether it's traveling, meeting friends, or hobbies. A healthy relationship is not all together and everywhere, but 2 strong people walking side by side. Unlike many cultures where early marriage is encouraged, German women are in no hurry. They first build careers and achieve personal goals. If you're from a country where it's customary to start a family early, you may find them slow, but in Germany, marriage is a conscious choice, not a social obligation. Women enter into it when they are really ready. Want to know how to approach a German woman? Write the number 8 and an exclamation mark in the comments, and I will share useful tips with you. In addition, it is important to remember that German women often prefer directness and honesty in communication, avoiding unnecessary dramatization and emotional manipulation. They value intellectual conversations and discussion of current topics, which can be an excellent basis for strong and long-term relationships. Number 13. Germany's real pride is not beer, but cars. When people think of Germany, they most often imagine beer, sausages, and fairy tale castles. But for the Germans themselves, the main reason for national pride is the automotive industry. Brands such as Mercedes-Benz, BMW, Audi, Porsche, and Volkswagen are not just names, but world icons of quality. It is not surprising that Germany is called the automotive capital of Europe. Here, they don't just produce cars, they perfect the driving process itself with precision, innovation, and engineering art. German cars are considered moving works of art. The automotive industry provides more than 5% of the country's gross domestic product and creates over 800,000 jobs. German cars are supplied to more than 150 countries, making Germany one of the largest auto exporters in the world. But here's what might surprise you. In Germany, Mercedes-Benz is not a luxury, but a taxi. Step out of Berlin Airport and in front of you is a queue of cream-colored Mercedes E-Class taxis. And in some cities, Mercedes are even used for garbage collection. This is the German combination of style and practicality. Luxury here is not status, but functionality. German cars are not created to brag, but to serve in everyday life and to do it perfectly. In addition, Germany is actively investing in the development of electric vehicles and hybrid technologies, striving to maintain its leading position in the automotive industry and meet modern environmental requirements. Number 12. Buying secondhand is a modern German lifestyle. In Germany, buying secondhand goods is not just a fashion trend, but an important part of everyday life. Buying used things is considered both environmentally friendly and socially responsible. According to a Statista study from 2022, almost 40% of Germans bought used clothes at least once during the year, and this figure is steadily growing, especially among young people and the urban middle class. Berlin, Hamburg, and Cologne are full of vintage boutiques, Sunday flea markets, Flohmarkt, and resale applications such as Vinted, eBay Kleinanzeigen, and Mädchenflohmarkt. But for Germans, it's not just about saving money. It's an opportunity to find unique, quality things and help the planet at the same time. A good secondhand coat is often more valuable than a fashionable novelty that you will wear a couple of times. In addition, the habit of giving, exchanging, or giving away things is normal here. On the streets, you can see wooden boxes with the inscription, "Collect for free," with books, clothes, or dishes. In many areas, there are even street bookcases, where people read novels so that others can enjoy them. Have you ever found real treasures among used things? Write the number 6 in the comments and tell your story. In addition to this, more and more Germans prefer to rent things, such as tools or electronics, instead of buying them, which also helps to reduce waste and more responsible consumption. Number 11. Calm German weekends. In the United States, weekends are parties, shopping, barbecues, and loud music. But in Germany, the rhythm is completely different. Quiet, relaxed, almost meditative. Germans take weekends seriously, especially Sundays. Almost everything is closed: shops, supermarkets, salons, even pharmacies. Only some cafes are open. And it's not about a shortage of staff, it's enshrined in law. Sunday is an official day of rest. This means no drilling, no repairs, no loud music, and certainly no disturbing the neighbors. It is important to disconnect from the hustle and bustle, slow down, and just enjoy life. Instead of shopping malls and crowds, walks in the forest, cycling routes or parks, hikes, picnics, and leisurely walks in the fresh air. This is the German tradition. Sunday mornings often begin with a long breakfast, Frühstück, coffee, fresh rolls, apple pie with vanilla ice cream, and heartfelt conversations with friends. No rush, no phones, just live communication and real presence. You can forget about overtime. Most employers do not bother employees on weekends. Personal time is sacred. Stroll through the center of Berlin on a Sunday and feel that the city is sleeping. No cars, no signals, no bass, just a pause. The complete opposite of the round-the-clock hum of New York. This is a time when Germans pay attention to family, friends, and their hobbies, emphasizing the importance of work-life balance. Number 10. In Germany, beer is drunk always and everywhere. In Germany, beer is not just a drink, it's part of the culture. Germans drink beer like Italians drink espresso, anytime, anywhere, and for any occasion. Lunch break, weekend barbecue, shady beer garden, or crowded stadium. Beer is always nearby. With more than 1,500 breweries and more than 7,000 types of beer, Germany is the undisputed beer capital of Europe. There is even a national beer brewing law, Reinheitsgebot, or purity law, adopted in 1516. Only water, barley, and hops, no additives or colorings. To feel the beer passion of Germany on a full scale, go to Oktoberfest. This is the largest beer festival in the world, which takes place in Munich from the end of September to the beginning of October. More than 6 million guests from all over the world gather under giant tents, each of which can accommodate up to 10,000 people. During the festival, more than 7 million liters of beer are poured, enough to fill an Olympic pool. And yes, they don't serve small glasses here, only liter mugs. The holiday begins with the legendary Bavarian exclamation, "Oh Zapft is!" The barrel is open. This is the official start of the fun. If you find yourself in Germany, will you raise a mug in a huge tent and shout together with thousands, "Oh Zapft is!" Write the number 2 if yes, 3 if no, and 4 if you want to know about the strangest varieties of Bavarian beer. In addition, brewing in Germany is not only a tradition, but also a modern art, with many craft breweries experimenting with new tastes and styles, offering unique and unrepeatable drinks. Number 9, the main tourist attractions of Germany. If you are looking for a trip that combines classic European charm, stunning nature, and deep history, Germany is the perfect choice. Start with Berlin, where the Brandenburg Gate has become a symbol of peace and unity. Stroll past the remains of the Berlin Wall, once a harsh border of the Cold War. Explore Museum Island, full of ancient treasures, and look up at the glass dome of the Reichstag, through which sunlight floods the parliament's meeting hall, a vivid symbol of open democracy. Fans of fairy tales should go along the romantic road. In Rothenburg, Ob der Tauber, it seems that time has stopped. Cobbled streets, half-timbered houses, and medieval towers make it one of the most picturesque towns in Europe. The charming Dinkelsbühl offers the same fairy tale atmosphere. Quiet streets, cozy shops, and fully preserved city walls. Complete the route in Füssen, where alpine nature is combined with ancient architecture, the ideal gateway to Neuschwanstein Castle. This fairy tale castle in southern Bavaria seems to have come from the pages of the Brothers Grimm fairy tales. It was he who inspired Disney to create the famous logo. Located among the mountains and clouds, it is impressive at any time of the year. Nearby stretch the Alps, snow-covered in winter and bright green in summer. A real paradise for lovers of hiking, skiing, and nature. And don't miss the Rhine Valley, as if you were getting into a living picture. Vineyards, medieval castles on the rocks, and fairy tale towns, such as Rudesheim, known for its white Riesling, adorn the banks of the river. Be sure to find the legendary Lorelei Rock. According to legend, it was there that the siren lured sailors with her sad song. Travel along the Rhine in the fall, among the misty hills and golden vineyards, and you will understand why this is one of the most romantic trips in Europe. In addition, it is worth visiting the Saxon-Switzerland National Park with its unique rock formations and picturesque hiking trails, offering unforgettable views and natural beauty. Number 8, a society based on trust. The reserved and modest Germans have earned respect around the world not only for technology and intelligence, but also for something more, a culture of public trust and discipline. Even in the little things, it is noticeable. On Sundays, when all shops are closed, farmers' stalls with vegetables and fruits can be seen on the roadsides without a seller. You just take what you need and leave the money in the box. Absolute honesty is a matter of course. Lost something? Locals often hang the fines on the nearest tree so that the owner can easily find them. Public transport in Germany mainly operates on a trust system. There are no turnstiles, but there are random checks. If you are caught without a ticket, the fine is about 60 euros, a quiet but clear reminder. Trust requires responsibility. Many tourists are surprised that Germans do not cross the street at a red light even at night, even if the street is empty. Children are taught from an early age that breaking the rules is not just a personal mistake, but a bad example for others. Germans live as if every action, even the smallest, shapes society. They are also known for their directness, without embellishment, without polite tricks. If you don't want to smile, they don't smile. Such honesty may seem harsh, but it comes from respect, self-awareness, and inner integrity. These qualities, trust, discipline, and directness, make Germany one of the most respected and comfortable countries to live in the world. In addition, an important part of German culture is respect for the environment and active participation in separate waste collection, which also testifies to a high level of responsibility and consciousness of citizens. Number 7, the most unexpected divorce law in the world. In the United States, alimony typically ends after a certain period of time, after remarriage, or upon achieving financial independence of the former spouse. But in Germany, everything is different. If, after a divorce, one of the spouses remains in a vulnerable financial position, especially if the wife quit her job to raise children or earned significantly less, the second spouse, most often the husband, but not necessarily, is obliged to pay support indefinitely. Yes, that's right, indefinitely, unless the ex-wife enters into a new official marriage. Here's the thing, even if she has a new partner, payments continue until a legal marriage is concluded. Such a system is created to protect the more vulnerable partner, often women who have given up their careers for the sake of the family. To avoid abuse, the law requires the alimony recipient to look for work, get training, or provide a valid reason for financial dependence. Nevertheless, for many foreigners, especially Americans, this becomes a real shock. In Germany, the financial consequences of divorce can last longer than the marriage itself. However, it is worth noting that German law also provides for the possibility of reviewing the amount of alimony in case of significant changes in the financial situation of both parties, which ensures a certain flexibility and fairness of the system. Number 6, bottle return, a smart recycling system. In Germany, when buying a drink, you pay a little more not only for the drink itself, but also for the bottle deposit, called Pfand. This eco-friendly system adds 8 to 25 euro cents to the price of water, soda, or beer, and has completely changed the approach to waste recycling. When you have finished your drink, simply take the empty bottle to the supermarket and insert it into the machine, Pfandautomat. It will scan, swallow the bottle, and print a receipt that can be used when buying or exchange for cash. The system works for both plastic and glass bottles, as well as aluminum cans, with the exception of milk or juice cartons. Thanks to this system, bottles almost do not end up in the trash. Often you can see people collecting empty bottles to exchange them for money. This is a legal and informal way to earn extra money, benefiting both the environment and society. The level of bottle return in Germany is impressive, up to 97%, which makes it one of the most effective recycling systems in the world. This system also encourages manufacturers to use reusable containers, which further reduces the amount of waste and promotes sustainable development. Number 5, the love of Germans for cash. Despite the fact that Germany is one of the most advanced economies in the world, it still actively uses cash. Go to a bakery, restaurant, or clothing store in the center of Berlin, and you may hear Nur Bargeld, cash only. Even for amounts of several hundred euros, Germans prefer to pay with banknotes rather than a card. Why? It's all about privacy. Germans are careful about personal data and do not like it when digital transactions track their expenses. Cash gives control, it limits spending, and reduces dependence on technology. There is an economic reason: interchange fees. Many small businesses and banks avoid cards because of high commissions. So, here's an important tip for travelers. Always carry cash with you. ATMs are almost everywhere, but the Germans themselves usually withdraw money only for a few days ahead, a habit developed over years of thrift. In a world rapidly moving to digital payments, Germany retains the old school, simple, disciplined, and charming in its own way. In addition, there is an active public movement in Germany advocating for the preservation of cash as an important element of the financial freedom and independence of citizens. Number 4, Germany's magical Christmas markets. For Germans, Christmas is not just a holiday. It's a whole season of coziness, tradition, and magic. Starting from the end of November, cities throughout the country light up with festive lights. Because the time of the beloved Weihnachtsmärkte, Christmas markets, is coming. The air is filled with the aroma of cinnamon, roasted nuts, and hot mulled wine. And soft classical music turns everything around into a winter fairy tale. Historical fairs, such as the Striezelmarkt in Dresden or the Christkindlesmarkt in Nuremberg, have been welcoming guests for more than 600 years. Here, you can enjoy a cup of hot Glühwein, taste Lebkuchen, gingerbread, a lush Stollen fruitcake, and freshly fried bratwurst sausages. Wooden stalls are bursting with handicrafts. From carved toys and candles to ceramics, everything is filled with real German Christmas charm. Children count down the days to the holiday with the help of the Advent calendar. And on December 6th, they celebrate St. Nicholas Day, leaving their shoes overnight to find small gifts in them in the morning. Christmas itself is celebrated for 2 days, December 25th and 26th, with family, with gifts, and quiet reflections. But the Christmas markets of Germany are not only about shopping, they are places where joy, beauty, and the quiet magic of the season are felt. They fill the heart with light in the darkest winter days. In addition to traditional markets, Germany also has popular themed Christmas markets. For example, medieval or craft markets, offering unique products and entertainment. Number 3. German cuisine. Hearty, aromatic, and full of traditions. German food may not be as refined as French and not as spicy as Thai, but it is hearty, comforting, and perfect for cold weather. At the heart of traditional dishes are meat, potatoes, bread, and, of course, beer, simple to prepare, but rich in taste. The main symbol is Wurst, that is, sausage. In Germany, there are more than 1,500 types of sausages, and they take them seriously here. The most iconic is currywurst, fried or boiled, sliced and drizzled with spicy curry ketchup, a real star of street food, especially in Berlin. Another dish to try is Schweinshax, roasted pork knuckle, especially popular in Bavaria. Seasoned with salt, pepper, and garlic, it languishes until a crispy crust on the outside and a soft texture on the inside. It is usually served with sauerkraut and mashed potatoes, a perfect combination, a classic in beer halls and on festive tables. In addition to meat, Germans love Brezel, the famous pretzel, twisted, golden, with a crispy crust and chewy center, thanks to a special alkaline solution before baking. It is eaten with butter, cheese, or sausage. For dessert, it is definitely worth trying Apfelstrudel, puff pastry with sour apples, cinnamon, and raisins. Although it is of Austrian origin, it is loved and popular in German kitchens and bakeries. And of course, no conversation about German cuisine can do without beer. The ancient purity law, Reinheitsgebot, of 1516, prescribes the use of only water, barley, hops, and yeast to preserve the pure, authentic taste of the drink. With more than 1,300 breweries and over 5,000 types of beer, Germany is a real paradise for connoisseurs, and the world-famous Oktoberfest in Munich attracts millions every year to celebrate this legendary brewing heritage. In addition to this, Germany is famous for its diverse varieties of bread, from rye to wheat, which are an integral part of German cuisine and culture. Number 2. Wild and unusual festivals of Germany. Germany is famous for its sausages and beer, but its festival culture is much wider and sometimes truly unexpected. Think Halloween as spooky? Meet Walpurgisnacht, a real witch's night in German. Every year on April 30th in the Harz Mountains, especially in the town of Thale, locals dress up as witches, goblins, and ancient spirits, gather around giant bonfires. According to legend, it is on this night that witches fly to Brocken Mountain to dance, conjure, and cause storms. Today it is a fun mix of folklore and party with music, beer, dancing, and even humorous exorcisms. A great opportunity to get acquainted with the mystical side of Germany. And there is also Fastnacht, a bright, bold carnival that takes place in cities such as Cologne, Düsseldorf, and Basel in February or March. It is often compared to Mardi Gras, noisy, fun, and German in its own way. In Cologne, for example, on Weiberfastnacht Day, women symbolically overthrow men by cutting off their ties, a playful tradition that also has echoes of the struggle for equality. Children strive to catch armfuls of sweets flying from giant platforms, and everyone, from toddlers to grandparents dressed up, laughing, and joyful, is involved in the holiday. If you want to see Germany at its most eccentric and energetic, you should get to Fastnacht. In addition to these festivals, Germany also hosts numerous wine and beer festivals dedicated to the harvest and local traditions, offering a unique experience of immersion in the culture of the regions. Number 1. The real cost of living in Germany. Thinking about moving or just want to visit Germany? There's good news. Life here is much more affordable than, say, New York. Renting a one-room apartment in the center of cities such as Munich, Berlin, or Frankfurt usually costs from $760 to $1,080 a month in the suburbs, about $540 to $760. If you decide to rent accommodation with someone, you can stay within the amount of $325 to $540 a month. Utilities, including electricity, water, and heating, and in winter you can't do without it, usually cost from $65 to $110. The internet, about $20 or $30. On average, the total amount of utility payments ranges from $280 to $320 per month. Groceries are also available. If you cook at home, then food costs about $160 to $270 a month. Eating in an inexpensive restaurant is about $11 or $22 per serving, so you might want to check your wallet before ordering schnitzel. Public transport is excellent and inexpensive. A monthly pass costs from $53 to $110, depending on the city. Medical insurance is mandatory, but of high quality. If you are under 30 years old, you will have to pay from $87 to $120 a month. If you are older, the amount increases to $175, $180. Other expenses for clothes, entertainment, books, and sports usually range from $90 to $250, depending on lifestyle. In general, a foreigner can live in Germany comfortably, spending approximately from $920 to $1,620 a month, enjoying a clean, safe, modern life full of culture and beer that won't break the bank. So, would you live in Germany at such rates? Write yes if yes and no if no. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If so, don't forget to click the like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss new exciting videos. Your support helps us continue to create even more interesting content. Be sure to check out the next video that will appear on the screen. I'm sure you'll like it. Be sure to leave a comment on which country you would like us to explore next time. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video. In addition, it is worth considering that Germany has a social support system, including unemployment benefits and other types of assistance, which can provide additional financial stability for those who find themselves in a difficult situation.